Have you heard of Rift Wizard 2? It's one of many roguelikes out on Steam, and unfortunately, it can get lost in a sea of similar titles. But unlike many games in the genre that simply take cues from the original Rogue's design, Rift Wizard 2 gives players the truest upgrade of the original formula. For those who don't know, roguelikes take inspiration from the game Rogue, much like how Souls-likes take inspiration from the game Dark Souls. The game was originally released in 1980, and as you can see, it was very limited in its design. This game came out 5 years before Super Mario Bros. And as such was stuck with the technological limitations of the time. Specifically, whenever you die, you would be thrust all the way back to the beginning since the game didn't have any save slots or passwords. This, paired with the game's difficulty, meant that players had to learn everything the hard way through each playthrough. Fast forward to the present, and roguelikes have become the new hit genre. However, unlike in the original game, when you die, often there are upgrades or unlocks that follow you to progress further. Games like Hades and Balatro are fantastic examples of this formula, but with these changes drift further away from the brutal difficulty of the genre's namesake. And as someone who adores these games specifically, it can be a bit disappointing having upgrades and builds that completely tear through everything after everything is unlocked and upgraded. But Rift Wizard 2, in my opinion, is the definitive upgraded version of that original design. The graphics and layout all capture the unique nostalgia while adding more detail to the designs. And by that I mean they tell you the controls and have the monsters look like monsters and not just letters of the alphabet. There are dozens of unique enemy types that range in difficulty and can easily overwhelm the player. And since you're a wizard, it's only natural that you have a lot of spells at your disposal. Well, good news! You have 4 entire pages of unique spells to choose from, each with their own elements and upgrades, and 2 pages of abilities that complement them. It's not often you find a game that features such a wide variety of spells and abilities, all of which feel different and have a wide range of effects. And this isn't a AAA game either. It was made by one guy. Your goal is to make it to the end of 10 levels, which doesn't sound that hard until the entire screen is filled with slimes, ghosts, and witches, and suddenly the difficulty of the game finally sinks in. But if you're tired of normal mode, you can also try some of the game's special modes. There's the weekly run, which supplies a fresh set of spells and abilities for the player to use every week. There are the Archmage trials, which give you a set loadout and challenge you to beat them with what you're given. And a mutated run, which randomly deletes 80% of the spells and abilities for each run. But on a normal run, you're dropped into a random map with 1 skill point. From there, you can pick up your very first spell and start your dungeon crawl. After clearing the room of monsters, you could pick up the treasure and travel through one of 3 portals. Rinse and repeat until you either win or perish. Rift Wizard 2 is a great game to pass the time if you're looking to relax with something that is simple yet challenging. Plus, with the fresh slate each run gives you, you can fully customize your build and find powerful combos. I picked it up when it was on sale, but it's currently at $17.99 on Steam. I highly recommend giving it a try, especially if you're a fan of the roguelike genre and want to see the direct evolution of its roots. The game also has an all-time peak player count of 306, which is a shame seeing how well designed and well executed this title is. While I'm not exactly sure what the developer has planned for the future, I can only guess that giving this game the support it properly deserves will lead to even more well-designed titles going forward. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see or have any suggestions on what you want to see next, make sure you tell us in the comments below. And we will see you next time.